Good morning. We're here on the Ed Block Courage podcast with Mr. Micah McFadden of the New York Giants. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, guys.
Tampa native, Plant High School product. Tell us a little bit about that. I played in high school. Played high school in Tampa with Jefferson High School, and Plant was actually our rival when I was in high school. We lost to them all. And we had some crazy games when we played Plant. Plant was our rival. Lato was our rival. When I was in high school, we probably only had about 18 high schools in Tampa.
Yeah.
Now it's probably about close to 40. Maybe.
Yeah. No, it's definitely grown.
So tell us a little bit about playing high school football in Tampa.
Yeah. No, I'm from down there, born and raised, but Plant was a powerhouse. I think I only went there because my older brother went there, and he was deciding between there and Jesuit High School, which is a private school, all boys up there. But I didn't even get to play varsity until I was a junior. That's just kind of how the program went. You play JV, kind of earn your stripes that way, and then get up to varsity once you're a junior. But yeah, we had a couple good years while I was there. We went to states my junior year, state semis my senior year. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. We had a great coach, like I said earlier, Coach Robert Weiner, who's not there anymore. But yeah, really enjoyed Plant, and I think it was a great program that kind of taught you the ways that college football is going to be. And they did it where it was a year round. Like you could play football. I mean, Florida's different. You can have spring ball. You can do 7-on-7 in the summer. So I mean, I didn't play any other sports in high school. It was football all year round down there.
How important do you think it is to play another sport in high school?
Honestly, looking back, I wish I would have, just because for most players, I mean, high school is the last opportunity you're going to have to play any other sport. And I don't know if I would have been good enough to be on, basketball or anything else, but I would have enjoyed, I think, being able to be a multi-sport athlete in high school, just because, like I said, it's kind of that last opportunity to do all that. So, but I mean, it's just kind of how the program went. Our coach really, liked doing a year-round thing where we were doing winter workouts. We had 20 days of spring ball practice. We would do, spring games against ourselves where we kind of pair up that way. And then that kind of led into 7-on-7 in the summer and right into the season. So it definitely got you into the cycle of what college was going to be, and it prepared you for that. But yeah, to your point, I think I would have liked to branch out and do some other stuff as well.
What would have been? You mentioned basketball. Was there another sport you would have wanted to do?
I wasn't a baseball guy. I played a couple years when I was real young. My dad's a baseball guy. I know.
Tampa's baseball.
It really is, and we've had some great product coming out of Plant High School. Kyle Tucker and Pete Alonso actually went to our high school as well. So, and we had a great program while I was there too. But I think that's probably why I didn't play, was because I wouldn't have even gotten the opportunity to be on the field. But I don't know. Maybe I could have thrown something in track and field, or I definitely wasn't a sprinter, but. I would have liked to just branch out and try something else or just give it a shot.
I'm glad he didn't say lacrosse. I get tired of lacrosse being up here.
Yeah.
You know exactly what
Maryland, boy, they beat you over the head with that.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a baseball guy.
Yeah.
Live and die with baseball.
Yeah, there's a lot of lacrosse growing down in Florida too. I think it's grown quite a bit. Our high school, I think we had a pretty good lacrosse team. But yeah, it's definitely spread. I know it started up here, and it's huge.
Were you a Bucks fan growing up?
I was. My favorite player when I was younger was John Lynch.
Okay.
So I rocked 47 in high school because of him. And
Not Hardy Nickerson?
No. I watched Derek Brooks a lot as linebacker.
Yeah.
You probably didn't get a chance to see Hardy.
Yeah.
Hardy played like 20 years.
Yeah. That's true.
Hardy was there when I was an intern.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even born.
Yeah, but I mean the Bucks had some really good years. I know we were talking earlier about John Gruden, but those teams they had down there.
Would you have liked to have Warren Sapp in front of you?
Yeah, no. I can't complain. I got Dexter Lawrence, so we got somebody similar for sure. Yeah, it makes your job so much easier as a linebacker when you got somebody like that just mauling the line of scrimmage every play.
Well, it leads me to this follow-up question I have, which is, you have those great protectors in front of you. What's that worst sight for you? Is it like seeing a running back come downhill? Is it seeing a lineman built like Wally Williams pulling around, getting ready to clobber you? What's all of a sudden when you're coming up and you get ready to make a play and you see something coming at you like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's usually an offensive lineman, just with how big and fast they are. And it's usually, like you said, the last second. Like you know, usually I feel like I have a good, I can see stuff out of the peripheral, but if they're pulling or something, pops up last second, it's game. It's game over when the lineman catches you off guard. Cause
Look at that, he's smiling.
yeah, exactly. He knows how it is. That's his favorite play.
He's Florida too. He played at FAMU.
Okay.
He's from Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Now, coming from Indiana, going to New York City, how was that transition, being around all that crowd and that New York media is, oh my God, that's intense.
It is. Yeah, it was definitely different. So I went to Indiana for college, and I mean, it's kind of like tale of three cities. Like, Florida's Florida,
Yeah.
and then you go to Indiana, quiet, Midwest town, and then like you said, I mean, the city's just different. The media up there.
Ravenous.
It infects everything. As much as you try not to, pay attention. I mean, everybody has phones now. Everybody's on social media, so you're gonna see everything, regardless of what it is or what it's about. And it's different. You definitely got to prepare yourself mentally to go play in a place like that. But I've enjoyed it. It's nice that I'm not in the city. I don't think I could be living in the city. I think I'm just not that type of person. But I'm like 30 minutes outside in Jersey, so I can, commute if I want to, go in, get a nice dinner or something, steak dinner, and then get out. But
You don't want that 135th floor view
I don't
of
know
the skyline?
I don't know if that's me. I don't know if I can do all that. I kind of like my space, I'm not like an apartment guy, so I got a little townhouse out there in Jersey. But it's cool to be that close to, the biggest city in the world for sure, or one of them.
So tell us a little bit about your injury. Why you're here? Why did you win the award? And tell us a little bit about working with Ronnie Barnes.
Yeah, this year kind of felt like, it was just one thing after another as far as the injuries go. I started in preseason. I had a groin injury that, groins, it's different for everybody. Some people, it'll last 2 weeks. Some, it can hold people out for seasons, just depending on how bad it is. But that was kind of a weird contact injury. A lot of people pull their groin just running or stepping weird, but this was a contact injury during a tackle, and that held me out. I thought it was going to hold me out longer. They were talking about IR and whatnot, and I was like, let me just run on it, see how it feels. And I was lucky enough, I got back by the second game of the season. And so the second game of the season was my first game, and in that game, I made a tackle, had my head up in a funky position, and I kind of sprained my back, and it kind of got crunched, and that was a difficult injury just because every time you're making a play or you get turned in that position, it just re-aggravates it.
Was it lower back?
It was mid-back. It was mid.
Thoracic.
Yeah, exactly. So that was something that just kind of lingered a little bit throughout the year. And then as the season went on, I had a few things. I banged up my heel. I had a nerve injury to my heel, which, you guys know, like a foot injury, you're walking on it all day. As a player, you're running, on turf sometimes, and it's just that impact to it. It's
You're nothing without your feet.
Yeah, and that's going to linger just like the other injury. And then at the end of the year, I had a pretty bad stinger. That was the third to last game. It was against the Falcons down there in Atlanta, and I lost feeling in my hand for about 45 minutes. And I've had stingers before. It's kind of common in our sport, but I knew when I couldn't feel my hand for a while, I knew it was something pretty different. And I actually, speaking of Ronnie, he was in there and we were talking about it, and I spent time with the chiropractor working on it, trying to get it kind of flossed out a little bit. But Ronnie was the guy who was like, look, you're going to sit this game. We're going to see how this goes the rest of the week. But unfortunately, that injury actually held me out the next two games, the last two games of the season. But and it was, just kind of talking with the doctors, talking with Ronnie, and, kind of seeing how it felt. But the training staff in New York is some of the best. And wherever people go, you usually hear, like, oh, you guys got a great training staff, just because people have either heard of them or worked with them before. They're great up there. And they're going to be real with you. They're going to tell you what they think. And usually, as a player, you want to play. You're going to want to be out there. But they're always good. When they know it's something serious and they know you shouldn't be out there, they're going to let you know that. So, I appreciate Ronnie for his help with all the injuries that happened this year, but especially that last one, just being smart with me and letting me know what he thought.
Yeah, Yeah, they have a great staff. Lee.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's Steve still there.
Steve's still
so
there. He's been there forever,
It's
yeah.
a great staff up there. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna get banged up, that's the staff you want working on.
For sure, yeah, and the doctors as well. I mean, New York has some of
Yes.
the best doctors, people flying from everywhere to go get surgery up there too, so.
Did you ever work with spinal decompression for your neck injury?
I didn't, I haven't.
Has somebody ever brought that up to you?
I don't think so.
Because I've been doing spinal
Yes,
decompression for like 20 years. When I was a player, I actually had to go out and buy my own machine. They're about 150 grand, but
Wow.
I had a couple of disc injuries, and that was a game changer, and I still use it to this day.
Is that like
I
a
think-
pressure thing where it like kind of separates a little bit?
So yeah, imagine like a traction table, but you can isolate each individual disc
Oh,
either in
wow.
your lumbar spine or your cervical spine. So if you have a C4 that's herniated or bulging or even degenerative, it can actually reinflate the disc by creating negative pressure around it, so it absorbs the nucleus pulposus and pulls it back to the center.
Oh my
'Cause
god.
that's what leaks out and starts to affect those nerves.
You could be a doctor on this stuff the way he's talking about it.
Well, I became a practitioner.
Okay.
Yeah, I became a practitioner after I got
There it
done.
is.
So, yeah.
There it is.
Well, after you go through a few surgeries, in which I've had 12, I started feeling like, okay, I don't want surgery and drugs. I
Yes.
want non-invasive, drug-free ways to heal my body.
Yeah.
We were talking about, like, hopefully that'll become the standard in the NFL.
Yes.
You know, you guys become more proactive in doing prehabilitation with stuff like that. Because, I mean, that's all we do is bang our discs up.
Yes.
So there's no
Yeah.
reason why we shouldn't be on the table at least once or twice a week just for maintenance.
That's one thing I've realized more and more throughout my career is if you can avoid surgery, that's probably the best option, right? I had a thumb fusion after my rookie year. It was actually an injury I had a Bennett's fracture in college my senior year, and we repaired it, but after my rookie year, I was like, this thing isn't right, I feel it, so they fused it, but some things like this, like you think that it's never going to
Dexterity.
change, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm never
gone.
going to have that back, so it's easy to rush into a surgery, I would just say, and like, you know, whatever they suggest, I would just take my time more thinking about it.
Well, I know some guys up there. I'll give you their numbers that do decompression, and there are a couple of guys in Jersey and New York City. Some doctors I've been working with for like 20 years. I used to go to the same, what do we call it, like a symposium where we actually learned how to do all this stuff. So I actually got to train with the actual doctors, even though I wasn't a doctor, because my godfather was a doctor.
Yeah, yeah. My dad's a doctor down in Tampa, Florida. He has been for 30 years, so I always try to give him a call every time something's going on too. But he lets, you know, he's not trying to invade anybody. It's, you know, work, and he's never trying to. Now he does MD-VIP, but he was in internal medicine at St. Joseph's and Tampa General down there for about 25 years. So
I do want to ask, because we ask this to every recipient that we have come by, what does it mean to you to be an Black Courage Award recipient?
it means a lot. Obviously, I didn't know a whole lot about it until I got the award, and then when people started calling me and telling me like, "Hey man, congratulations! It's an honor to get that award." And I was people in the locker room that told me, "I have won that award a lot. You're gonna love the event and love the people there." But it means a lot, and obviously it's player voted too. So knowing that, my teammates saw me in that light and recognized, the difficult season that I had went through, it meant a lot, to have that recognition from them for sure.
And for guys like Wally, their careers actually got better after they got that award. I know
Yeah.
nobody wants to win it twice, but
Yeah.
he was actually able to go on and actually have a even more prolific career after his injury.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be injured too much. It's kind of like the
So one and done award.
It's like the comeback player of the year. Like you don't want that too many times, right? That means you're getting too banged up. But yeah.
So now that you're kind of getting a little further in your career, getting closer and closer to that fourth year where you become vested and you finally get to say I'm a real guy. What's that going to be like for you when you finally get to that point where it's like, hey, I locked in my 401k, my pension, my annuity?
Yeah.
And
no, I mean, it means a lot. Like, obviously, coming in as a rookie, there's so much unknown about the NFL and uncertainty. And I think for me, I was lucky enough to get the experience that rookie year and kind of build off of it these last 2 years. And that meant a lot to me just because it gave me that confidence. Like, I knew I can do this for a while. And, to your point, now that I'm at this point in my career, heading into my last year of my rookie deal, we'll see whatever happens next. I'm kind of always focused on the here and now. But I'm so grateful to be in this position and to play, the sport I loved, and, obviously being here and passing on to the next generation, giving a little insight to the kids, and it's just an honor. I'm blessed to be in the position I am.
Now, I know football takes up all of your time being present now, but are you starting to sow some seeds for what you're going to do after football?
I've thought about it. Like I said, I like focusing on what I'm doing right now. So people are always kind of throwing things at me, whether it's real estate or, but I do want to, I want to commit to like community service in some way. I want to find a way to give back, whether that's in Tampa or elsewhere. I want to find a way to, my parents, they did a lot of mission trips when I was young. And so, what?
Playing high school doesn't have people who provide service.
Kicking dirt on your school. Get him off you.
Like that.
Micah, get him off you.
That's crazy.
You
I
give
might
me
need to
elbow.
donate to Jefferson a little more so they can get some kids, right?
From a Plant Panther. Come on, man.
He sounds a little hurt, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he does.
Did they hurt
He
you?
does.
Yeah,
They hurt
we
you?
lost to them every year.
I told him I might need to give some back to Jefferson.
A little bit. When I was
Y'all
at
out over
Jefferson,
there.
when I played, we played our home games at their stadium because we didn't have a stadium.
Oh, wow.
We had a practice field, but we played our home games when they were away. We played our home games at Plant.
See how
Now-
far we brought him?
Exactly.
Now you biting the hand that feeds you? You gonna bite the hand that feeds you?
But I know y'all don't donate shit though. Y'all don't do nothing for the community. He went to a rich high school, had a little field house and all of that, and
Still public.
yeah.
Hey, charity start.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I actually, it's a story. My senior year, I lived in a Plant district. I was supposed to go to Plant.
Mm-hmm.
My street is the
Cut off?
border. On one side of the street is Plant, and on the other side of the street is Jefferson. I had cousins that lived across the street from me that went to Jefferson. I used their address to go to Jefferson, but I was supposed to go to Plant.
That was the wrong decision.
Our baseball coach at the time I'm talking to somebody, and I was like, yeah, my boy goes to Plant. He lives in, on the next street over, blah, blah, blah. So the baseball coach overhears that. He thinks that, okay, this guy's playing at Plant. He's in the wrong district. So he calls Plant to get him in trouble, but I'm the one who's in the wrong district. So my senior year, they were going to make me go to Plant, but I had to take a course at Jefferson that Plant didn't offer in order to stay. My senior year to stay there because I lived in a Plant district. I grew up Kennedy.
Yeah.
Armenian, Howard,
Yeah.
where it's a Jewish community center now.
Yes.
There used to be an armory.
Yes.
Right down the street. That's where I grew up. And that's Plant all day.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go to Plant. I
West
wanted to
Tampa.
Yeah, West. Well, it's North Hyde Park.
Yeah.
On the other side of Cypress
Okay, yeah.
is West Tampa.
Gotcha.
So North Hyde Park between Kennedy, then you have Cypress, then you have Albany, and then you had Howard. So I lived right in that little area.
Yeah. I'm over there a
Plant
lot.
bus stop was right around the corner.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends played at Plant, went to Plant. And I didn't know how to play.
That's crazy.
But it was great meeting you.
Yeah, you
And
too.
good luck with the rest of your career.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much, man.